Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwame Sha'ala, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chachachodash, and double honors to our apostles, elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the Akim and Ahwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And Esau, Edom telling on themselves, man. I done a lesson on this a few days back. But this guy, RFK Jr., right? He's saying 70% of the food we eat is ultra processed. It's not really food, it's poison. We're going to change that. So this is Esau telling on himself. You know? He says we're laser focused on making real whole food available for every American family at prices they can afford. Well, it's through your system that, you know, Esau greedy as hell anyway, you know, and Esau is all about profits. He doesn't care about, you know, your health, you know, and shit like that. You know, now, what I will say is they become millionaires, billionaires, so to speak, but they don't eat this stuff. You know, they don't eat their own product. You think the guy that's in control of, you know, that own the cigarette companies, you think he's smoking cigarettes? You think the guy that's in control of Pepsi, you think he's drinking a damn Pepsi every day? You know? These people don't eat their own product. That's like we done the lesson on the guy that was talking about the camel soup being 3D printed or some crazy shit, and that it was slop. But he's the CEO of the company, I think he was. And he even said he don't eat the shit. So, you know, Esau, Edom, you know, his tongue is coming down upon his own self, and he's telling on themselves, man. This is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, actually telling you that, yeah, we're the wicked and we fucked this up. Now, he might say, well, I had nothing to do with it. And that's what they all say. You know what I'm saying? Well, government. They talk about the government, you know, the what they call it, the agents that be, or the insiders and all this other shit are, you know, doing it. Well, but who's that race of people? It's these Edomites, man. So he says, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, while outlining push for Whole Foods with Kid Rock is poison, his food-like substances. We're going to change that now, and we're laser focused on making it affordable. Well, guess what, man? You know, you've had that time. You've had that time. Now you at the end of your kingdom, and you want to try and make things right, so to speak, you know, or at least that's what they say. But you don't even have enough time. You know, let's just say Lord Terry, and he doesn't come in these last 3 years of these guys being there. You don't have enough time to rectify that, man. It would take a whole damn lifetime to rectify it. You need 100, 200, 300 years, man, to clean up the shit that you've done to this planet. Because you for sure done fucked up the water. You know, people trying to plant shit. People can't plant nothing, man, you know what I'm saying, without that drain water getting into the food, man. They was even talking about that here at one point in the game where, you know, like in the cities, you know, they salt the roads for, you know, the snow. And so that water drainage that comes off into the sewage, it eventually makes it into the groundwater. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the shit that Esau is actually exposing us to, whatever the fuck he's spraying in these skies, man. So it's like, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, I mean, not to say that, hey, you can't plant nothing. Because even those fertilizers, they even talking about that right now with, I think it was a lawsuit yesterday or day before. I seen something on it. You see so much shit on this shit. I think it's Roundup. I think, there was a lawsuit that was won, you know, don't get to quote me on it, because I seen the story, but I didn't go into it. I kind of read the headlines, but I think it was a class action lawsuit on Roundup. And you know, these people have been doing that for a long time, man. They've been fucking up the creeks, the fresh waterways. Again, I've been saying it in a few videos, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, you know, I live around the 5 lakes of Michigan, basically, and those are some of the, used to be regarded as some of the freshest water in the world. But now they have these smaller lakes here. You know what I'm saying? But I know last year they had 15 lakes on the list of contaminated, and that you were not to eat the fish out of those lakes. Now we know that Esau, he's just a fuck up anyway. But a lot of that stuff they be doing on purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're getting all these damn recalls. I ain't never seen that many recalls on food, bro, before. It's a recall every other day, man, from something that this man got going out. And that's why, we do these lessons too, as watchmen, to let our people know when we see stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look out for this particular brand of this at this particular market, you know what I'm saying? They had a recall on whatever amount of tons, because these people are the wicked, man. And all of a sudden you want to try and act as if you care. You got rid of, the red dye? What's that, number 40 or whatever the fuck, right? But it would take a lifetime for you to clean up the mess that you Edomites have done. Matter of fact, the scripture says that the Lord is going to destroy your ass for destroying the earth. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture. Because again, these people there shouldn't be a fast food restaurant on no corner in this country if they really cared. If they really care. Not with the shit, the ingredients that they have in these foods, man. A lot of this shit is not food at all. You thinking that you eating a damn chicken nugget, you don't know what you eating. You thinking that you got a damn chicken sandwich, you don't know what you eating. Now, matter of fact, I was just listening to the beloved Apostle Tahar, and it literally, about the end of his video, his live, one of the things he said was cook your own food. Cook your own food to the best of your ability. Try and get the best ingredients that you can. Because the scripture talks about how our bread is defiled amongst the Gentiles. We're eating our bread defiled amongst these goddamn heathen, man. So you're not going to avoid it 100, but you do the best that you can, and you pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. Matter of fact, scripture says to lean not into thy own understanding. Trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh and choose none of your own ways. That's Proverbs 3 and 5, I think in verse 6, verse 7 as well. But it roughly paraphrasing, leaning not to your own understanding. You should be praying to Yahweh, a quick little prayer, Yahweh, I'm trying to get some groceries. I need something, to eat for tonight or today or whatever the case may be. What do you think? Or, what should I get? And the Lord, hey, you go with faith and you go and hit the supermarket. And the Lord is gonna have you come out of there with what it is that you need. But what's best, man, He will have you avoid or damn recall some shit because people been getting sick, man. People been dying from foods, man. A lot of these recalls, how you think they get to the point of a recall? Because somebody done been poisoned, man. Food poisoning. So they see, okay, 30 people, have these symptoms, and they all rush to the hospital, or however many amount of people they came to the hospital with the same symptoms, and then all of a sudden, they zero down to what it was, and then they get to asking them questions. Okay, but what did you eat? Where did you eat? And they find out what all of them have in common, and then they are, yep, we gotta there's something wrong with that particular food. We gotta do a recall. Yep. Says U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the nation's high rates of chronic disease are being driven in part by widespread consumption of ultra-processed foods, calling many of those products food-like substances during the televised interview promoting healthier eating and exercise. But you think he's going to come out here, you think Trump going to sign an executive? This motherfucker eating McDonald's. He's notorious for eating McDonald's and having a damn Diet Coke in his hand. He's notorious for everybody, every time he have an invite, say like this new hockey, the hockey team just won this gold in the Olympics. He's going to invite them there, and more than likely he's going to have McDonald's served. That's generally what he do. He's eating fucking McDonald's, bro. Now, unless this motherfucker got a different version of McDonald's than the shit that's in the hood, then he's fucked up. That fast food ain't no good for you, man. It's been a long time since I've eaten some fast food. You know, I try and fuck it, man. I don't see why not just try and make something at the crib. You know, first off, you know, you're gonna be able to season it the way that you want to season it. You're gonna, you know, at least know what better what you're getting. You go into a fast food restaurant and you buying some food that don't even rot. That's man. Trying to think I seen another video on, you know, people just pulling shit out of their cabinet. You're not supposed to be bread, not supposed to have no shelf life, man, or no damn year. You know what I'm saying? The bread is not real, you know, and that's fucking a lot of people up. Real talk. He says we have the worst chronic disease burden of any country in the world, and it's because of our food. And they be wondering, like, you know, like, why in the fuck? Look at this fool. So you doing some shit, you rushing, doing some shit that your ass not supposed to be doing. And you trying to turn down a damn road that's not even open, but he leaning on his fucking horn on this person. Anyway, so lucky I'm driving y'all, but I'm at this light. But anyway, yeah, man. So Esau, he's making his own tongue to fall upon themselves, man. And it's a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, man, that he's doing that right now. Because he's telling on himself. Who the fuck you think has been in control of the food? There was a time when people had their own land. You can grow some stuff. You had your own, you know what I'm saying, chickens and, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying, man? I grew up in the South, man. It was nothing to go, well, we didn't have, you know, chickens like that. But our neighbor across the street from us, they had a chicken coop, man. We go over there and get eggs. Damn chickens lay eggs every night. The fuck you paying for eggs? And there was nothing for you to, you know, to have a fresh chicken. Shit, you drop that damn chicken into that pot, hot ass pot, and you know, get them feathers to the point where you can pluck them. You pluck them feathers. You clean that chicken real good. You ain't had no chicken until you eat chicken like that, man. Chickens is not all big like how you see them in the market. Big ass breasts, big ass legs. Like what kind of chicken is this? Chickens don't generally be that big like that, you know, once you skin them down and stuff, man. But I can remember, you know, having fresh fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? We had all kinds of fruit trees and shit on the land. You don't even see stuff like that no more. Because this man is the destroyer, man, of the earth. He has poisoned his own people. Mainly because he's wicked as hell, but you know what I'm saying? Being coveted. You know, being covetous, man. That goes against the scriptures, being covetous. This man is a very covetous, greedy niggard. And through that mindset, that spirit that he has fucked everybody up. Because he just wants. He don't care about how he gets it, man. So, you know, I just wanted to touch on this, man. This is no surprise right here, but, you know, they're actually saying a lot more. As a matter of fact, they got the little news segment here. I could probably play it. So, yeah, I'm just driving. So, but yeah, we'll play a little bit if we can. But, hey, this is not medical information. Copyright disclaimer, 1976 of the Copyright Act for educational purposes as far as news reporting. And so we'll play it.
We have the worst chronic disease burden of any country in the world, and it's because of our food. It's 70% of the food that we eat is ultra-processed food, and it's not really food. It's poison. It's food-like substances. We're going to change that now, and we're laser focused on making it affordable. The federal government pays for 45 million school lunches a day. And we are about to issue regulations and recommendations to make sure that our kids are getting good food. And what we're finding is that it's actually cheaper, counterintuitively, it's cheaper to eat well than it is to eat processed food. We're changing the military right now. We already we're going into 20 bases with Chef Robert Irvine, and the meals that are now terrible that are given to our military costs $18 a day per soldier. He's feeding them fresh, whole foods for $10 a day. So you don't need to spend more money. You just need to be smarter. And we're going to help educate people about how to do that. And we're going to make sure there's fresh food in every jurisdiction, any place, the thousands of places that accept food stamps, the retail outlets in this country are going to be required to double the amount of whole foods that they sell, and that's going to change the market as well.
And there you have it, man. So here you go. They feeding that bullshit to the kids and the military. Let you know these people, man, don't give it. And they've been doing that for what? The past 50 years or so. Ain't been no fresh food like that, man, in like the past 50 years, and it's just done gotten worse and worse and worse over time. I seen, man, all you got to do is just go online, or YouTube or whatever, and pull up some of these videos on this food, man. It was one of the elders I was watching the other day, where it was a collage of videos of the people with the food, and they like, what the fuck is this? You know, they at the house, they checking on, you know, they reading labels. Here you go, this country, man, you got a goddamn thesis on the back of a package, man, when it should be only 3 ingredients. And you know, try and look into that, man. The least ingredients in the food, the better off you are, man. But Esau, he doesn't care, man. He's all about product. So he'll break that shit down and give you the cheapest, nastiest bullshit. Because again, he's not eating it. You think these people that run these snack food companies, motherfuckers, you think he's sitting around eating Oreos and shit? He eating Doritos? You crazy? Them people don't eat that shit. They don't eat it, man. You motherfuckers ain't eating no damn Snickers bar. No Reese's bar. You see? So I'm going to end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala on the Bible Ball.